You've pulled back from me. Okay. I was on a family vacation in Florida with my family. It's in the name. And I had a big old suitcase. I mean, my boy was chunky. He was late stage Elvis big. He's dead, don't worry. And the TSA agent zeroed in immediately. We were going through the security line. We weren't pre-checked. I'm white, but not that way. And so we had to take our shoes off. But the TSA agent zeroes in and he grabs my bag and he takes it over to this little secluded corner. And I was at the age where if anyone looked at me, I would die. And so now everyone's looking at me as this TSA agent takes my big old suitcase and he plops it down. I look back and my brother's like, "Do you have drugs?" And I was like, I don't know. My mom was looking concerned. My dad was already at the gate for our flight. He didn't even notice I'd been detained. Shout out Jim Cerrone. And you guys ever been in trouble, but you're not sure you should be in trouble, so you start going through your brain. And I was like, maybe there's a bunch of cocaine in there. I don't know. My mom had my suitcase for a while. She reads a bunch of Southern Living magazines. I don't know about like super Southern. And the TSA agent looks at me and he goes, "All right, come on, buddy. What have we got there?" Keep in mind, I was 11 years old. At the time, I would have been the world's youngest drug lord. Eat your heart out, El Chapo. So imagine the surprise on this poor TSA agent's face when he unzips the suitcase and 5 hardcover Harry Potter books came tumbling out. Everyone's looking at me, and now they know I'm a nerd. Incredible. It sucked for me, because now I had to go on the flight home with every single person there whispering, "Nerdy Mariosa." But it must have sucked for that guy. Because imagine the break room in the TSA when everyone's like, "Oh, another day, stopping bombs and stuff. Tony, what'd you do today?" I impeded a child's learning. It's nice to be back in Fishers. I'm the only one that's 19, I think, which is awesome. I go to a small liberal arts college in the South called Indiana University. You might have heard of it. 300 people from my graduating class went there. We actually cut down a swath of the Amazon rainforest to make room for all the names in our graduation paper. That's a true fact, don't look it up. And they say to make a big school small, you have to bring 50% of your hometown, and I think we accomplished it. You could go, I don't know, maybe 10 feet without seeing someone from Fishers at IU. It's awesome. I got used one time by someone I barely knew, which broke my heart. I was in the pizza line, and it was a really long line. Everyone loves pizza. And this guy came up to me, we'd said maybe 3 words, and he goes, "Hey, I remember you from Fishers," and then didn't say anything else. He just stood next to me in the line. He used me to cut for pizza, which was #epic. I had a lot of trouble in college. Is everyone here in high school? Or will be in high school? Okay. I had a lot of trouble in college. I forgot to go to class, whoops-a-daisy, and that's a big part of getting good grades is going to class, and I didn't do it. This was before the pandemic when you had to walk, and gosh, it was so far. Having bad grades suck. Having to tell your parents you have bad grades, well, that's awful. Having your parents find out about your bad grades because you lost your good student discount from State Farm, priceless. My mom called me, she's like, "Our insurance agent called today and he said, I don't know, you're an idiot." And I was like, "Happy Tuesday, Mom, love you." Like a good neighbor, State Farm, a good neighbor would turn a blind eye if I snuck a girl over, not tell my parents I'm an idiot. That's, what are you wearing, Jake, from State Farm? Oh, all my dirty laundry? Phenomenal. I peaked in 6th grade, which is not the age you want to peak in. I peaked in 6th grade. That was the smartest I've ever been in. I was in a gifted and talented program, which was like segregation for 6th graders. Everyone is superiority complex for no reason. And 6th grade is where it caught up to me. I have a smooth brain. It is without wrinkles. I'm very stupid. But 6th grade, there's also something that goes on with a lot of the boys in 6th grade. You may have heard of it. It's a medical condition. It's called, I want to make sure I get this. So many boners! All the time. I had that. I'm jealous of the 6th graders now because they're on Zoom classes. And if they get one of the rogue bone skis, all they gotta do is flip the camera up. I didn't have that luxury. I had the nickname the Math Debater for 3 years. Because I got one during timetables. They're like, oh, this guy loves math. I'm like, that's not what it looks like. I'm pretty high strung. So last year, my roommate recommended I try something called Xanax.
Ooh.
And if there are any Geist moms in the room, you know it all too well. But it was all above the books, don't worry. And by that I mean I met the dealer at the library. But it wasn't working for me. And so I went back to my friend and I was like, hey man, that cool little blue pill thing isn't working. And he goes, you know you're supposed to be taking it orally, right? I've been doing it the other way. So I found out what the word suppository means. You guys know what target witches are?
No.
That wasn't a call and response. Target witch is someone that's very witchy, but they also shop at Target. I just learned about it. It might be my favorite thing I've ever heard. I don't think there's anything hotter than a Target witch. Because they'll put a hex on you and then you get coupon. I'm an idiot, as I brought up before. I'm very stupid. And lucky for me, that also carries over to talking to girls, which is awesome. A few weeks back, I was talking to this girl and I was like, hey, we should get dinner today. And she was like, oh, I would. We just put my cat down. And I was like, is that an all day thing? And the NBA draft was last week. As you can tell, I did not get drafted. Again. If it weren't for my general lethargy, lack of athleticism, bad at sports, no coordination, no hand-eye coordination, there's nothing keeping me from the National Basketball Association. But I didn't get drafted, which is terrible. A lot of people hate playing basketball with me. I don't know if you can tell by my, cuffed jeans. I'm not great at basketball. But I look like I'd be pretty good. I'm pretty tall. And everyone always picks me first, which sucks for them. Because they'll be like, I want that guy. And then I'll be like, oh, reporting for duty, sir. And they're like, we made a bad choice. Everyone's always like, aim for the square, Joey. And then I aim for the square and it misses. So I think I'm doing it wrong. But I'm really bad at basketball. I'm the catfish of basketball. And also, buckle in, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for our very first incredible segue. Catfish Basketball. Catfish Tinder. I'm on Tinder, is what I wanted to say there. Tinder's a bit of a hellscape. I hate it. I've got... my life is so bad at this point that not even the catfish accounts match with me. And I'm talking about like the really bad catfish accounts where they don't even like crop out the Instagram handle all the way. I've seen 45 Delaney Whalens and not one of them has matched with me. Which hurts a lot, right? It hurts really bad that I'm not attractive enough to scam. Like they're like, oh, this guy needs everything he has right now. Which is good. I don't have a credit card. So, I like Tinder a lot. Actually, I got lucky. Someone matched with me and I've been having a great conversation with them. That was earlier this week. And so like any straight man, I immediately cut my hair. I don't know what, biologically, I don't know why whenever I start talking to someone, I'm like, they like me for me, I should change something. I literally, like, I matched with her and I was like, I should get a haircut. I bet she likes the curls. I bet she would like it even more if I looked like a little Dutch boy. Or maybe a fat brunette Ellen. That would be nice. Oh, jeez. A few things about me. I'm a vegetarian. I know you can't tell by looking at me. I get it. I hate saying that because I'm a chubby red vegetarian. And every time I tell someone that, they're like, I don't believe you. Just say you think I'm fat. Like, I don't think you're vegetarian, except for you telling me. But I became a vegetarian. It's actually been over a decade. So I'm a decade better than most of you. But actually, I can't say that because the reason I became vegetarian is so stupid. It is so stupid. Have you guys ever had meatloaf? Does anyone like meatloaf? Put your hand down. You're embarrassing yourself. My mom made a bunch of meatloaf when I was a kid, like twice a week. We called it twice a week loaf. You can leave, that was a bad one. But my mom made so much meatloaf, and I hated it. I hated meatloaf, and I was like, how do I stop eating meatloaf forever? So 10 years later, I've been a vegetarian because of my mom's meatloaf, and I told her that story, and she's like, that's not true, you just didn't like chicken nuggets. I was like, what child? Roseanne, let's do some context clues here. Would I rather not eat meatloaf for the rest of my life at the age of 9 years old, or chicken nuggets, the universally beloved childhood food? And she was like, I don't know, I think I made a pretty good meatloaf. That's not remotely what she sounds like. I made her sound like a 1950s mob character. Another thing about me, putting on fitted sheets always makes me sweaty, or it did, until I found out it's supposed to go on the bed. I've been wearing it like a cape. Another fact about me, I don't think kids should have phones or social media. It's not because I care about children's safety, I just don't like kids at all. I care a little bit about their safety because I don't know why we still have comment sections on any social media. Never once have I been in an interaction or seen an interaction in a comment section and gone, yeah, that's awesome, we did good today. It's always like someone's like, hey man, I love your art, and the other person's like, kill yourself. It's brutal. I don't think kids should have to go through that. Especially, Simon, I'm sorry, but TikTok is brutal, dude. I don't follow you, because I don't care. But I assume yours is the same. I'm worried about TikTok. I really, really am worried about TikTok. Not because of like Chinese spying or whatever. I'm worried because those people are going to be our world leaders someday. And in 20 years from now, there's going to be a Congress member who's like, I think we should bomb Iraq. And someone else will be like, period, queen. And then CNN's going to report on that and be like, I don't know, it's the bombing for me. People that respect Obama, well, I don't know. One step too far on that joke. But I appreciate you guys coming out. The pandemic has been crazy. There's no joke to that. It's really been scary, and I appreciate that you guys have come out here to support some local comedians. I actually got started in Fishers. The first set I ever did was over at the Spark Fishers in between two apartment buildings, and it was 103 degrees. And I vowed myself, I said to myself, Joey, next time you do a set in Fishers, it better be inside of a dance studio. Mission accomplished. Thank you guys so much.